Welcome. I'm Ed Skimin, co-founder of Emerge Inc., a website and software development firm, and LorainCounty.com, a local website shining a spotlight on all the things that make Lorain County great. I'm joined today by Max Upton, Safety Service Director for the City of Lorain. Welcome, Max.
Good afternoon, Ed. How are you? How's the family? How's everyone getting along?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. We're now, week 3 in quarantine, so relatively speaking, we're doing good.
Sounds good. Could you start by telling us about the role and responsibilities of a Safety Service Director?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Safety Service Director is an elected official's, the mayor's appointment, and I'm really responsible for the oversight and the leadership of all of the departments that are safety and service. So everything from engineering, building, housing and planning, utilities, police, fire. It's really akin to a city manager type role. And really, it's not just me doing it. I'm assisted by the Assistant Safety Service Director, who I lean on a lot. Rick Soto is a 29-year vet of the PD. Our Chief of Staff Barnhart, I lean on her for some other issues and some other stuff that it's really a job that's requires a team, and we got a good team up here on the 7th floor, kind of looking out for the city right now.
Sounds good. So you guys came into office in January. I'm sure you did not vision this being the new environment. What kinds of things are you doing to help the community and local businesses?
So no, as you pointed out, it's been every administration puts out their 100-day plan of what they want to do, and ours kind of consisted of looking at the water bill situation. It consisted of getting out and holding community meetings and continuing the dialogue between the administration and the residents, and so we have been doing that. But in the face of this pandemic, it really we triage the situation. We figure out from an emergency planning standpoint, how do we keep people safe? How do we keep our staff safe? How do we continue to conduct the business of the city? And then once we kind of get those fundamentals down, we stopped and we asked the different questions. How can we deliver value? And one of the things a few examples of things we've been able to do, some of our street department workers have been picking up food from Second Harvest Food Bank and delivering it to residents' doorsteps. So we've had over 700 deliveries by our street department, residents who are senior citizens or low income, disabled, that otherwise cannot get out of their house or shouldn't get out of their house during this pandemic. So our street department, a couple of our building inspectors that would otherwise be going into buildings and inspecting them and those sorts of things, they've been helping out in that effort. We were able to expedite the process by which Mercy Hospital got their triage tent set up outside of their ER facility. So we had our chief building officer, our acting chief building officer, Mr. Velez, there working with their team and getting them a certificate of occupancy immediately so that they're able to get up and running. So they went from construction to occupancy in less than 2 weeks because we kind of retooled our line of thinking. And the last thing we did this just yesterday, the district manager for the Sheffield Village Sam's Club, who oversees the Sheffield Village Sam's Club, reached out to the mayor and said, I have a pallet of water to donate, who needs it in the city? So we reached out to the leadership at Mercy Hospital and arranged for the delivery of the pallet of water for the healthcare professionals and for the patients. And then just kind of as an ongoing thing, we've been having weekly calls with all the mayors in the Cleveland Clinic. The mayor and myself will have a call with Mercy Hospital later today. And so that we're having a continuing dialogue on what the needs are and how we can react in real time. So those are kind of the nuts and bolts of responding to COVID. And so what the city is doing relative to kind of what the products that we offer in terms of business loans and loans to homeowners for emergency repairs. Our building, housing, and planning department has, been working with the federal agencies to put together guidance to allow 60 days of forbearance on those city loan projects, and we're getting to the end stages of getting approval from the federal programs to allow us to enact those types of things. So a lot of it's a bureaucratic process, but we're working as quickly as we can to be agile in our response.
Sure. So, Lorain's known recently for how much you've done with the downtown cityscape. What kinds of things are you doing to help kind of those businesses or local small businesses?
Well, I similar to the clinic in Mercy, I've had a regular set of phone calls with the Main Street Lorain group. I've been keeping in constant contact with them. And one of the things that we're really doing is trying to be a wayfinder here at City Hall. There's been a deluge of federal programs from the CARES Act that seemingly come out quicker than any federal programs have ever come out, it feels like, in my career. And what has happened kind of in practice is, the horse is out of the barn, and now everyone's trying to figure out how to kind of get to where they need to go. So what we've been trying to do is act as a wayfinder for businesses to kind of sift through the bureaucratic minutia and get them the information that they need directly. So I've been doing that. I've been having regular calls with Main Street, Lorain, and kind of figuring out the pulse of the downtown business communities. And at the same time, we've been having conversations about service gaps, right? So the state and the federal government have put forward guidance and programming relative to what they're able to do and who they're able to assist. But inevitably, at the end of the day, even the most well-designed, federal or state program leaves a gap of service of who just doesn't qualify for one reason or another. And we're working really hard to identify what that gap is, and then kind of engage other stakeholders in seeing what we can do to fill that gap.
Very good. What's the best way for a business or a resident to reach you or the city?
So the best way for businesses and residents, anyone to reach the city, is give me a call. My cell phone number is 440-714-0766. It's on 24/7, 365. So reach out to me. I'd also kind of be remiss too if I didn't give a special kind of shout out to Lisa Hudson at the Small Business Development Center. They've kind of very nimbly changed the way that they're delivering service. I like them on Facebook. I'd encourage any small business owner in the city or the county to like their Facebook page. They've been putting a lot of really good content around small business issues relative to COVID-19. And even after the pandemic gets past us, they're a great resource for all the small businesses, and also to Tony Gallo at the Chamber of Commerce, who's a personal friend and kind of a mentor of mine, that they've put together the Lorain County Strong website, and they're kind of helping to promote the businesses that are open, that need our attention, and would encourage everyone to kind of do takeout like I'm doing tonight, and do what we can to kind of support the businesses that are open, so that our ultimate goal is to kind of ease the burden that COVID-19 is going to have on our small business community, and accelerate the recovery. Small businesses, generally speaking, represent about 45% of the GDP of the United States. There's almost 28 million small businesses in America, and they're the major employers. They're the people that make the engines of the economy run. They're the people. I had a conversation with Jim Janasco a few months back when we first got on the job, introducing myself, and I told Jim, I said, 30 years ago, which I can't believe it's been that long, but 30 years ago, I had a black and white Janasco Insurance T-ball shirt on when I played Lorain Youth Baseball over at Campana Park. Our small businesses are the ones that support local initiatives. They're the ones that are out, doing discount cards for high school football teams. They're the ones that really, really need our help. And so that's what we're trying to do, to really get that message across from the mayor's office.
Sure, very good. Well, thanks, Max. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate yours and Mayor Bradley's leadership through all this. Thanks again.
All right, thank you, and you be safe and be well.